Chapter 20. The Great Idea. Over the course of the afternoon, I watched Ted pass from dazed disbelief to almost uncontrollable excitement. When the last bell finally rang, he dragged me, Kat and Kai to the corner of the park, to the little copse of trees where we made our dens. "Well, show them." "Show us what?" asked Kat. "Yeah. Dude, you've been off the scale weird all day. Now you've got Ted at it too," said Kai. Ted was grinning from ear to ear, like the cat who'd got the cream, and before I could say anything, he blurted out, "He's only gone and got an actual real-life dragon." Kat and Kai stared from Ted to me and back again, obviously trying to suss out where the wind-up was heading. Then, figuring out they should just play along, Kai called our bluff. "Okay then, show us." So I did. I opened my pocket and let the twins peer in at the glowing red dragon nestled there. His warm, smoky smell floated upwards towards us, and this time there was no talk of me telling stories. There was a moment's stunned silence, and then, "This is the most amazing thing in the world ever!" shrieked Kai. "The totally awesomest," agreed Kat in an awed whisper, her eyes not leaving Flicker for 1 second, and they weren't wrong. I stood there soaking up the glorious moment, the moment when for once I had the coolest pet in the world. But Flicker didn't seem that happy with all the attention. He fluttered up to my shoulder, curled his tail around my ear and lay his head against my neck. I scratched him behind his horns, trying to turn the huge smug grin across my face into a look of more cool casualness. "What else can he do? Does he breathe fire? What does he eat? Is he going to get bigger? Where's he come from?" they said, unleashing a tumble of questions. "It's more sparks than fire at the moment," I said, "and he eats leaves and vegetables." I didn't want to admit that for the rest I was about as clueless as they were. They were looking at me like I was this dragon expert whisperer or something, and I didn't want to spoil that. It didn't take Flicker long to get used to the others, and soon he was fluttering from hand to hand. "He's so cute," said Kat, running her finger down his spiny back. "Do you think he understands stuff?" said Ted. "I mean, could we train him, do you think?" They tried calling him from one to another, and although once or twice Flicker flew into the hand of the person that had called him, mostly he didn't. "He's still a baby," I said, feeling like I wanted to stick up for him. "Or as daft as Dexter," said Kai. Dexter was their terrier. They'd had the idea of training him to do cool circus tricks when he was a puppy, but most they ever got him to do was sit and stay, and, well, now he didn't usually do that either. "Can he come home with us, then?" Kai said suddenly. No," I said. "Why not? You've had a turn. You've had him for ages." "He's not a toy," I said crossly. I made out that I was sticking up for his rights as a majestically free and independent animal, but actually I was overcome by a very deep feeling that I didn't want anyone else having the coolest pet that any of us had ever owned. "I didn't say that," said Kai. "I just meant we should share him." It was true. We did share most stuff. Toys, books, games, all got swapped from house to house, but Flicker was different. "He's mine," I said quietly. Kai scowled. It reminded me of how Lolly looked just before she lost it. Of course, Kai was old enough not to go supersonic, but I could see he was pretty ticked off. It was at this point that Ted had his brilliant, or not so brilliant, idea. "Hang on, didn't you say there were others that hatched out of those weird fruits?" "Yeah," I said, knowing exactly where this was heading. "Well then, we can all have one, can't we?"